A commissioned position is very different than what we are discussing today.
Representative Omar, I mentioned the fact that it's not just limited to commission. It's also for anybody that is demoted. So you can be in a regular job, not part of a commission situation, but if you're failing to perform, you'll get demoted, and then you get a pay cut with it. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. So
the hearing begins with a calm, routine tone, lawmakers taking turns speaking and asking questions. But the shift happens when Representative Ilhan Omar leans forward and prepares to ask something she clearly believes will expose a flaw. She speaks slowly, asking whether any employer actually decreases pay for employees who are not part of a commission system. The moment is quiet, but it's loaded, as if the question itself suggests disbelief that such workplace accountability could exist. The room does not react instantly, and that silence becomes the first signal that something unexpectedly awkward is about to unfold.
I'm just wondering, I was a union member for a long time, and I've also gotten an opportunity to work in the private sector. And I'm curious to know if you know of any employer that has a provision where they decrease pay for employees. I find that a little.
Representative Barbara Neal responds with confidence, not irritation. She explains that in the real world, the world outside political chambers, businesses routinely link pay to performance. She describes her experience owning a tile-setting company, where productivity mattered every single day. If employees arrived late, made mistakes, or did not meet standards, their pay could reflect it. It wasn't theoretical. It was business reality. Her tone makes it clear. This is something every employer understands instinctively.
Strange, and so I just wanted to know where that thought comes from, and if you know where an employee gets their pay decreased.
Representative O'Neill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I was a business owner. I recently sold my share, so I don't own it anymore, but there are plenty of businesses out there, especially those that depend on employees' productivity. Like
the room is attentive, but it's also starting to shift. People who have worked real jobs, run teams, or run payrolls immediately understand what O'Neill is saying. In many industries, performance is not optional, it's the foundation of the job. Her explanation lands softly but powerfully, like someone telling a simple truth in a room where not everyone lives in that truth. A quiet recognition moves around the chamber.
I owned a company that was a tile setting company, and if we didn't get out there and do the work, and if I didn't have highly productive employees, they were paid based on their productivity. So if they had issues, it is very possible that their pay would reflect those issues. If they were on probation for something, for some sort of violation, that could be coordinated with a pay reduction. It's something that businesses do all the time, and it could be the step before someone is actually fired.
Then another lawmaker joins the discussion, expanding on the concept of commission-based pay. They explain that in sales industries, cars, real estate, contracting, employees earn based on results. No sales means no commission. It is common, normal, and widely understood. The message is simple. Many workers across America live by performance-based pay. This is not unusual. This is not niche. This is standard industry practice.
It's an important thing, and it gets people's attention, when they see it in their paycheck that their performance does not meet the standard.
Representative Omar.
Hudson, I think did you have something?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Hudson. Was there a question for Mr. Hudson?
No, I think he was saying that he wanted to add something, so I didn't know if he had something to add.
Mr. Hudson, is there a response to the question? Do you have a response to that question?
Madam Chair, yes, ma'am.
Are you saying that you aren't aware of any businesses that decrease pay?
This is where the tone in the room begins to shift from educational to slightly amused. Because what's happening is obvious. Several people in the hearing clearly understand this reality, while Ilhan Omar seems genuinely shocked by it. Staffers look up. A few members shift in their chairs. No one wants to laugh out loud, not yet. But the divide between practical experience and political perspective is now plainly visible.
The question.
Madam Chair, I think what Chair O'Neill perhaps could be referring to, there are some instances where the pay structure is different. So for an example, she had indicated that she had come out of the towel industry. I'm not sure if these were commission employees who may have been on like an 80-20 split. In that instance, there is a situation where a pay might...
Ilhan Omar doubles down, insisting that commission pay is different from the issue being discussed. But Representative O'Neill responds with steady composure. She clarifies that pay cuts are not limited to commission roles. In the real world, when someone is demoted, whether due to performance, conduct, or inefficiency, their pay can decrease accordingly. This applies to regular hourly and salaried jobs as well. The concept is straightforward. Accountability exists in employment.
Be reduced. Or if we have a supervisor who perhaps had a performance improvement issue or a behavioral concern, and we demoted this supervisor, that is an instance where pay might be decreased. But just an employee who has not been under some sort of performance improvement program, having their pay reduced, I've never heard of that.
Well, Mr. Hudson, I think Representative Neal knows exactly what she says. And I think we've had a little conversation back here when the question was asked. I know Representative Uglum, do you want to?
At this moment, the tension turns into humor that no one wants to openly acknowledge. Because the explanation is so basic that the reaction becomes involuntary. A lawmaker shifts papers to cover a smile. Someone exhales just a bit too loudly. A quiet laugh slips and is quickly swallowed. Everyone feels it, the kind of collective reaction when someone asks a question that accidentally reveals how far removed they are from everyday work life.
Speak to that point.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Omar, if you happen to be a salesman in this world, and you can be selling cars, you could be selling siding, you could be selling just about anything, and you are paid on commission. So if you don't sell anything...
This becomes the defining contrast of the exchange, the real-world business owner speaking from experience versus the politician speaking from theory. O'Neill has hired employees, trained workers, met deadlines, balanced payroll, and dealt with consequences. Omar, meanwhile, approaches workplace economics from a conceptual level, where government structures shape compensation rather than individual responsibility and performance. Two worlds. One moment. And reality is winning.
You don't make anything. So you can have good years, you can have bad years. Probably really one of the best examples is a real estate agent. So it's the idea that people can make less money year to year, not to mention all the bonus situations that are out there in industry. It happens. It happens a lot. It doesn't necessarily happen, here in the public sector, but it's...
The laughter that moves through the room isn't mockery. It's recognition. It's the sound of people realizing that common sense just entered the conversation and exposed a blind spot. It is the quiet reminder that the private sector lives by results, while politics can often ignore them. When O'Neill emphasizes that demotion comes with pay reduction as a natural consequence, the room doesn't just hear it, it feels it.
Pervasive and very, very common in the private sector. Thank you.
And I'd like to add that in the private sector as well, people, if they are not performing at their job, get demoted, and with that demotion comes a pay cut. And that's not even related to being in a commission position, that's just in a regular position as well. Representative Omar.
I think a commissioned position is very different than what we are discussing today.
Representative Omar, I mentioned the fact that it's not just limited to commission. It's also for anybody that is demoted. So you can be in a regular job, not part of a commission situation, but if you're failing to perform, you'll get demoted, and then you get a pay cut with it. So I just want to make...
The moment ends with clarity. Ilhan Omar attempted to create a gotcha moment, but instead walked directly into a lesson on basic workplace accountability. O'Neill didn't embarrass her. She simply spoke the truth of how the real world functions. And the subtle laughter that spread through the chamber was not disrespect, it was acknowledgement. Sometimes the simplest truths sound like revelations when spoken in Washington. And this time, truth won, calmly, factually, and unmistakably.